just has the most beautiful voice, and she writes lyrics that hit you right in your heart. Now, she went from homeless to selling over 30 million records worldwide. Please welcome Jewel. Now, girl, I tell you, when I listen to you, I literally clutch my heart. Sometimes I cry. Your songs just make you just go deep within. Now, I don't know how that is because when I saw your social media, Instagram, you are one of the most silliest women I have ever seen, where you can create tears and then laughter right here on social media. So, like, what happens to you?
I think that the people that went through the most and the most difficult times tend to be funny. We have to use humor as a way of surviving, right? So it's a big part of my life, humor.
And even when you get on stage, like, you'll be singing songs that make people, like, they'll be crying, and then you start doing stand-up during your show.
I do a lot of stand-up because I'm alone on stage a lot, and so you can't just be sad for the whole show. You gotta, like, change it for people so everybody has a good time. Yeah.
Girl, and then when you do stand-up, and so, like, you have people laughing, and then you gotta go back to, like, heart-crushing. So how do you make that, how do you do that?
You know, I really look at singing as helping people have feelings, and I think sometimes laughter helps you cry as much as something about that's really emotional. So I think we need it all, and I look at singing like prayer, like being in church, kind of. You gotta laugh, you gotta be serious.
That's so true, and I love that about you. Another thing I love is, like, you're such a homegirl, okay? Because you grew up on an Alaskan homestead. Okay, that's rough living. Okay, is this where you, what is this little thing right here?
We didn't have running water, so we had a sauna for, bathing.
So, no running water?
No running
Girl,
water.
I see why you make songs that make people cry. You had no running, and then, so what is this?
That's a ghetto cold plunge. That's
really?
A homestead cold plunge.
So, so like, did you have like a bucket of water that you kind of threw on yourself?
In the sauna, you'd have water that you'd kind of bathe with, and then you'd get really hot in the sauna. You go jump in that hole that we dug and covered with plastic.
and that was like the bath out in Alaska.
Yeah, yep, that was it.
Oh my gosh, girl. Now, and then when you were out in Alaska, you ate like this food. Can you just tell me, what is bear lard biscuit?
Delicious.
Okay,
oh, it's so good.
Bear lard. Tell me about that. You gotta make it make sense, girl.
Well, we only ate what we could kill or can. We lived off the land, and so you never wasted anything. And one of the best fats, in my opinion, is the lard, the fat from bears. It's delicious. So if you make biscuits or even pie crusts, I know it sounds weird, but it's not gamey. It's the best shortening you'll ever try.
Well, I imagine because
You're not convinced. I was like, I heard it.
But if we can, if I can compare it a little bit, because my grandmother, when she would make everything, she would do all of the grease and put it in a can in the middle of the stove.
Yes.
And so the bacon from the pig, that's like the best, because pig eat everything. So pig. So
very good.
If a bear is anything like a pig, I
Delicious.
think the bear lard biscuits might be good.
You should try it. It's real good.
If you make it, I'll try it. I'll try bear lard
bring it.
biscuits. Okay.
My daddy's gonna ship you some, I know it.
Yeah, tell him to ship me some. If I can put some butter on it, I'm good to go, girl. Now, Jewel, it's just reading about your life story. It's so inspiring because you went through so much before you got to be Jewel. You were homeless when you signed your first record deal.
Yeah, I ended up homeless because I wouldn't have sex with a boss, and he wouldn't give me my paycheck. Yep. And so I was like, all right, that's fine. I'll just start living in my car and I'll get a new job. But I had bad kidneys, and so I kept getting sick. I almost died in the emergency room parking lot because they wouldn't see me because I didn't have insurance. And then my car got stolen and I was living. That sucked, but I wasn't in it. So way less sucky than it could have been. And then I started singing to try and just get off the street, and I got discovered while I was homeless.
Really?
Yeah, crazy.
Oh my gosh, girl. It's so crazy. Like you had this gift that wasn't recognized until there was nothing else but your gift.
I really believe if you invest in your character and you don't compromise, you don't let anybody leverage you, you invest in your character, that's the stock market, right? That pays off magical dividends.
And here it is, and we see you in the 90s, you are a big superstar, but yet you went through moments where you didn't even want to be that famous.
You know, fame wasn't something I really ever thought I'd be that famous. I wanted to be a songwriter and do something I love. I feel so honored to do it, but that level of fame that I achieved was just not something I knew how to handle. I moved out at 15. I grew up in an abusive home. So that kind of attention on me wasn't really great for me personally, psychologically. It didn't like float my boat. So I just toned it down, and I learned that if I would take years between albums and become a little less famous, it was just a lot better for me psychologically. And who else do I have to make happy? Just me, right? Like, that's what we gotta do.
That's it. You do. That does play a big part, fame, and I see it on social media a lot on people's mental health. And they've taken breaks. A lot of people are now not afraid to say, I gotta stop my tour for my mental health, which is so important. And I know you are a big advocate of mental health, and you are participating, called the
Not Alone Challenge.
Not Alone Challenge.
Yeah.
What is the Not Alone Challenge?
When I moved out at 15, I knew happiness wasn't taught in my home, and I wanted to see if it was a learnable skill for kids like me that didn't have access to therapy or traditional networks like that. And so about 20 years ago, I started applying the tools and things I learned for other kids that didn't have access to that kind of thing. 50% of people that need mental health tools don't even have access to them.
Right.
So the Not Alone Challenge is about making sure we have proven tools that can be scaled digitally in these mental health deserts.
I love this. I love, you walk the talk.
Yeah.
Now, I know that some celebrities that are involved with the Not Alone Challenge are Billie Eilish. She's doing it. Bobby Burke from Queer Eye, Justin Jefferson from the Minnesota Vikings. They are getting on board with the Not Alone Challenge with you, which is really, really great.
It's been incredible. People are donating auction items, and all this money will go to making sure mental health tools get to those who need it most. And I was wondering if you would join.
Girl, I'll do it.
Yes, that'd be incredible.
So it's like I get on and I'll post about it, and I challenge some of my friends to also post about it, which is how you really increase the awareness.
We're trying to make it go viral. You would be such a big help.
I will do it if you give me some of them Bear Lard biscuits. I will do it anyway.
Sure.
Absolutely, I would love to help you out.
That'd be
Most
incredible.
definitely.
Thank you.
Now, I haven't heard from you in a while because you take these big long breaks. So you got a new album, and it's called Free Willin' Woman.
Yeah.
This is your first album in 7 years. Girl, you look like a boss.
Thank you.
Look at you. So it's your first album in 7 years,
Yeah.
and so you took time off, because I remember when you had a baby, and now, how old is your son?
He's 11 now.
He's 11? Oh my God.
He's the best.
So you took time off to raise him, huh?
Yeah, I really did. I want my life to be my best work of art. I don't want my art to be my best work of art, you know?
Ooh.
I don't want to look back on my life and be like, I sold 10 more million albums, but I'm unhappy. You know, like, you have to, if you're an artist, I think you should apply that to your mothering, right? The same way you should apply it to your career. So, hey, look at him. I mean, geez. I can't.
He is so
I can't.
cute, girl.
Aww.
Now, I know you always yodeled. Do you teach your son, because my son, he does a little beatboxing.
Yeah.
Like, did you teach your son how to yodel?
He does a little bit of yodeling. He's getting there.
He does.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have to warm up your voice or anything like that, but how do you yodel?
You go, it's a weird thing to learn. It's why I didn't have friends in kindergarten, for sure. Not that popular. You go from, you want to learn how to yodel?
Yeah, I would actually like to.
All right, we go from our low voice. Do you sing at all?
I karaoke.
Okay.
Okay, if that counts.
So you go from your low voice to your high voice, and you're trying to slide up across the shift where you go from your chest to your head voice.
Okay, this is why I don't sing. No, that don't make no sense. But
so you're just gonna try and sound silly. You're gonna, eh. That was it. That little.
Okay,
Y'all sound really good. Y'all were on pitch with vibrato. I was like, dang, that's really talented. So, yodelay, yodelay, yodelooty, yodelay, yodelooty.
Now look, I'm gonna be doing this the whole time. If I go on a date, I'm gonna do yodelay, yodelay. I'm gonna put that on my Bumble profile. I know how to yodel. Girl, Jewel, I wanna say thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you.